What really happens in your body when you stop eating after 6 p.m.? Most people hear this question and immediately think of a diet. They think of fewer calories, weight loss, maybe discipline or sacrifice. But that's exactly where the misunderstanding begins. Because this isn't primarily about eating less. It's about giving your body the right biological context. And this context isn't determined by food, it's determined by time. Your body isn't a passive recipient of food. It's a highly intelligent system that is constantly interpreting what you do. Every action, every meal, every habit sends a signal. And the strongest signal you give your body every day is when you eat. Because food isn't just energy, it's information. When you eat, it's not just digestion, it's communication at hormonal, neural, and cellular levels. Your body interprets every meal as a message. It is day. Energy is required. Stay active. Store resources. That's perfect if it's actually daytime. But now imagine a typical situation. It's 8:30 p.m. You're on the sofa. The day is over. Your body is already starting to shut down. Your nervous system is calming. Your body temperature is dropping. Your brain is preparing for sleep. And then you reach for a snack. In that moment, something critical happens. You're interrupting a natural process that has already begun. Because your body follows a fixed biological rhythm, the circadian rhythm. This rhythm is not optional. It is deeply anchored in your biology. It's controlled by light, darkness, and behavior. It controls your sleep, your digestion, your hormone production, your fat burning, your cell repair. During the day, your body is in active mode. At night, it's in regeneration mode. But this switch doesn't happen automatically. It needs clear signals. And one of the most important signals for this change is no food. Because as soon as you eat, this happens. Insulin rises immediately and your body goes into processing mode. Digestion is prioritized. Your body remains in an active state, even though it should be regenerating. Because your body cannot do both at the same time, regenerate and digest, it chooses digestion and postpones regeneration. Now imagine this happens every night, not once, not occasionally, every single day. At first, the effects are subtle. Your sleep becomes slightly lighter. You wake up feeling less refreshed. Then they intensify. Your energy levels fluctuate more sharply. You get hungry faster. You crave sugar or snacks more often. And over time, your entire system changes. Your body stores more fat. Your metabolism slows down. Your recovery becomes inefficient. Your stress levels rise under the surface. And here's the key. You don't realize that your evening is the cause. You look for the solution in breakfast, in exercise, in supplements. But the real problem happens every night. The night is the most important phase of your entire day. This is when processes you can't see take place. Processes that decide your long-term health, cell repair, hormone regulation, reducing inflammation, energy reorganization, neural recovery. But these processes only start under one condition. Your body must not be occupied with digestion. And that is exactly why stopping eating after 6 p.m. is so powerful. In that moment, you give your body a clear, unmistakable signal. Now, regeneration begins. And then something decisive happens. Your body completely changes state. From activity to deep repair. And this is exactly where a process begins that most people never fully activate. A process that decides how fast you age, how efficiently your metabolism works, how well your cells function, how stable your energy level is. Autophagy. And what happens in your body when this process is truly activated? Goes far beyond everything you've learned about nutrition so far. In this state, your body begins to recycle old and damaged cellular components. It's a kind of internal waste management that creates space for new, healthy cells. But how exactly do you activate this system every day? Let's find out. As soon as you stop eating after 6 p.m., something happens that most people never consciously perceive. And that is exactly why they underestimate it. Because in this moment, your body begins to shift into a state that has nothing to do with normal nutrition. It is not a digestive state. It is not an energy storage state. It is a repair state. And this state has a name: autophagy. Autophagy is not a trend or a social media concept. It is a deeply rooted biological mechanism that has existed for millions of years. To understand this, you must realize your body is not static. It is constantly under reconstruction, creating new components every second. As soon as your body recognizes that no new energy is coming, it begins to look inward and systematically analyze itself for damaged cells. Your body systematically scans itself for damaged cells, faulty proteins, inefficient mitochondria, and inflammatory debris. And then something decisive happens. Your body decides what is allowed to stay and what must be removed. Everything that no longer functions optimally is broken down. But here is the interesting part. Your body doesn't just dispose of these structures, it recycles them. This means individual components are reused to build new, functioning cell structures. This is an incredibly efficient process. This is why autophagy is crucial for metabolic health, energy production, inflammation regulation, and cell quality. When this process is active, your system remains stable. If it's constantly interrupted, your body begins to become inefficient. Autophagy only works under one specific condition. Your insulin must be low, and every time you eat, your insulin spikes immediately. This means even tiny amounts of food are enough to stop this entire process. A small evening snack, a few nuts, a piece of fruit is enough. Not just to slow down autophagy, but to switch it off completely. When you stop eating after 6 p.m., a clear biological sequence begins. First, your insulin drops. Then your blood sugar stabilizes. And in that moment, your body recognizes that no new energy is coming. In this exact moment, the transition occurs from external energy supply to internal energy utilization. This means your body begins to use stored energy. Fat is mobilized. Cellular debris is recycled. And now it becomes even more crucial. This process is strongest at night. Why? Because at night, your body consumes less energy. It has fewer external stimuli and is not designed for activity. It is completely focused on regeneration, but only under one condition: you do not disturb it. Every meal is like a switch: autophagy off, digestion on. And that is exactly why so many people do not see real results. They eat healthy, they pay attention to their nutrition, they invest time and energy, but they never give their body the opportunity to enter this state. And that is the decisive difference between short-term progress and true transformation at the cellular level. Many people try to optimize their body through nutrition, but they forget the body optimizes itself if you let it. And that is exactly what happens when you stop eating in the evening. You give your body time for repair, cleaning, and reconstruction. And that is exactly the time most people lack. Because they eat late, they snack, they constantly interrupt this process, and as a result, your body remains in a state of activity without regeneration. And that is exactly the reason why so many people feel like, I'm just not getting anywhere. But now it gets even more interesting, because the effect of this process does not only show up in the long term, you feel it already the next day. And the first place where you notice it is your sleep. In summary, true power lies in consistency. When you stop eating after 6 p.m., you give your body the most valuable gift: time. Time to heal, clean, and renew itself. It is not a sacrifice, but an investment in your vitality. Start today. Your system is ready. You just have to flip the switch. See you in the next block. See you in the next block. If you eat after 6 p.m., you don't just affect your metabolism, you change your entire night. And that automatically means you change your next day. Many people completely underestimate this connection because the effects don't appear extreme right away. You go to bed, you fall asleep, you wake up. Everything seems normal. But that's exactly where the problem lies, because sleep is not just on or off. Sleep is quality, and this quality decides how your body functions. While you sleep, highly complex processes happen that you don't consciously perceive. Your brain processes information, your body repairs cell damage, and your immune system is regulated. Hormones are rebalanced and energy is reorganized, and all these processes depend on the depth of your sleep. Sleep consists of several phases: light sleep, REM sleep, and deep sleep. And the crucial phase is deep sleep. In this phase, true regeneration happens. Growth hormones are released, cell damage is repaired, and inflammation is reduced. But this very deep sleep is massively affected if you eat late. Why? Because your body needs a clear priority at night, either digestion or regeneration. Doing both at the same time is biologically inefficient. Digestion is an active process. Your stomach produces acid, your gut moves food, and blood is increasingly directed to the digestive tract. This means your body is busy. Regeneration, on the other hand, requires the opposite: rest in the nervous system. When you eat late, you force your body into a conflict of interest. and your body makes a decision. Digestion takes priority. Melatonin is your central sleep hormone. It signals to your body, now it's night, now recovery begins. But melatonin is extremely sensitive to your behavior, and especially to food. If you eat late, it can cause delayed melatonin production, reduced release, and a shifted sleep onset. This means your body enters regeneration mode later. And even if you sleep for a long time, you regenerate less. But the effect doesn't end there. Now the actual chain reaction begins. The next morning, this is what happens. Your cortisol is elevated. Cortisol is your stress hormone. Normally, it follows a clear rhythm, high in the morning for energy and low at night for recovery. But when your sleep is disturbed, cortisol remains elevated. This leads to inner restlessness and faster fatigue. This means reduced concentration and increased stress susceptibility, a direct result of a poor night's sleep. Additionally, something else happens that many underestimate. Your blood sugar becomes unstable. This means, in concrete terms, you get hungry faster, your energy level fluctuates, and you have stronger cravings, especially for sugar, snacks, and quick energy sources, a typical sign of this hormonal stress. And now a pattern emerges that many know. You're tired, your body demands quick energy, and you reach for snacks. Your blood sugar rises, falls again, and you're hungry once more. It's a vicious cycle that began the night before. A cycle. And this cycle doesn't start in the morning, it starts in the evening. Because what you do at 8 or 9 p.m. decides how your body functions at 7 a.m. And this is exactly where the crucial perspective shift lies. Your morning doesn't start when you get up. Your morning starts with your last meal. If you don't eat anything after 6 p.m., your insulin drops earlier, your body enters rest mode faster, and your melatonin production stabilizes. Your deep sleep improves, and after just a few days, you'll notice clearer awakening, more stable energy, and fewer cravings. After a few weeks, the effect becomes even clearer. Your body works more efficiently, your stress levels drop, and your energy levels remain constant. And this is exactly where the connection becomes visible. Sleep is not an isolated process. It is the result of your entire day, especially your evening. And now it gets even more interesting. Because although all these effects are clear, many people still continue to eat in the evening. Not because their body needs it, but because of something else entirely. The truth is, most hunger in the evening is not real hunger. It feels real, it seems convincing, it comes suddenly. But biologically speaking, it's often something completely different. A dopamine impulse. And that's exactly where the real problem begins. Because dopamine isn't a bad hormone, it is the engine of your behavior. Dopamine controls motivation, reward, and habits. It's the reason why you do things. But dopamine reacts extremely strongly to quick rewards. That's why eating in the evening is so dangerous. Imagine a typical situation. It's 9 p.m., you're on the sofa, the day is over. Your body is powering down. Your activity level drops, your stress fades, but your brain is still active. And it's looking for something. Stimulation. A good feeling, and that is exactly where food comes in. Sugar, salty snacks, and fatty foods in particular activate your dopamine system extremely strongly. They give you an immediate sense of reward. But here's the crucial point. Your body does not need this energy. Your brain just wants the feeling. That's exactly why this hunger feels different. Real hunger builds up slowly. It is not specific and remains constant. It is a signal from your body. Dopamine hunger, on the other hand, comes suddenly. It is very specific. I want exactly that. And yet, most people act on it. Why? Because the pattern is learned. Every time you eat in the evening, you reinforce this connection in your brain. And the more often you repeat this pattern, the stronger it becomes. Eventually, it happens automatically. You don't even think about it anymore. You just act. It's like a program running. And that is exactly why willpower alone doesn't work. Because you are not fighting against hunger. You are fighting against a neural pattern. And neural patterns are extremely efficient. They run automatically without conscious decision. The brain loves these shortcuts. But here's the good news. You can change this pattern, quite consciously. Not through force, but through strategy. And the first step is awareness. You have to learn to distinguish, am I really hungry? Or do I just want a reward? The second step, controlling your environment. This is crucial for your success. If snacks are visible, the probability that you will reach for them increases. This is no coincidence. It is psychology. Your brain reacts to visual cues. When you remove them, you automatically reduce impulsive behavior. The third step, clear rules. Vagueness often leads to failure. Not, I'll try to eat less, but after 6 p.m., I do not eat. Period. No discussion, no exceptions. Your system needs this clarity. Because every just today strengthens the old pattern. Stick to your strategy. The fourth step, creating rituals. Your brain loves clear transitions and signals. When you close your kitchen or turn off the lights, you signal to your system, the day is over. These small routines help your body switch into rest mode. It is a biological switch. The fifth step, increasing friction. The harder it is to get to snacks, the better. The more hurdles you build, the less likely impulsive behavior becomes in the evening. An example, if snacks are in the cupboard, you reach for them. If they are in the basement, you think twice. You use your brain's inertia to your advantage. It is pure strategy. Small hurdles change behavior massively. It's about taking control of your environment. The sixth step, creating alternatives. Because your brain still needs something, not food, but a feeling. You can replace it with drinking tea, a walk, reading, music, or conscious relaxation. And now something interesting happens. When you interrupt this pattern, your entire system changes. After a few days, fewer cravings, less impulsive eating, more control. After a few weeks, more stable energy, better sleep, less emotional eating. And in the long run, your brain learns a new pattern. Evening equals rest, not food. Your body just needs the right signals. And that is exactly where the crucial point lies. You don't have to fight against your body. You need to reprogram your system. Because your body already works perfectly. It just needs the right signals, and when you stop eating in the evening, you give it exactly that. Clarity, structure, time for regeneration, and that's exactly where the difference begins. Between short-term discipline and long-term control. It's a partnership. Between fighting yourself and working with your body. That is true freedom. And that's why the decision not to eat after 6 p.m. is not a restriction, but one of the strongest strategies you can have. Trust your body. Discipline is often misunderstood as a hard restriction. But in the world of biology, discipline is the ultimate key to your freedom. When you set clear, unshakable boundaries, like our 6 p.m. rule, you free your brain from unnecessary stress. You eliminate the daily negotiation with your dopamine impulse. Imagine how much mental energy you save when the answer is already fixed. This structure reduces so-called decision fatigue massively. Your body loves this biological predictability. Regularity and consistency regulate your metabolic processes much more effectively than any radical diet. Discipline is not a fight. It is the decision to give your system exactly the clarity it needs for optimal regeneration. Every step counts. View every rule followed as an investment in your future health. It is an act of respect towards your body. Structure creates space for healing. That is true biological sovereignty. Stay on this path. Real progress begins with a simple realization. Self-care is not a luxury. It is the basis of your biological existence. When you choose to give your body rest in the evening, you are saying yes to your own vitality and longevity. It's about learning the language of your body again. Hunger, thirst, fatigue, these are valuable signals, not enemies. This new connection creates a deep sense of security. You are no longer in fight mode, but in harmony. Every conscious decision for your health is an act of self-respect. You deserve a system that functions optimally. View your path as a journey to your best self. Patience and compassion with yourself are your strongest allies. You have the control, you have the knowledge, and you now have the tools. Trust the process and trust yourself. Your journey to biological freedom and well-being continues. I will be with you. Until next time.